Are you a prepper? I'm not talking about that kind of prepper, but someone who likes to prep things over your breaks so that you're not as stressful when it comes to back to school season. If so, then you're in the right place because I have some things that you might want to add to your summer project list. If you're new here, I'm Rachel Vincent and I love sharing ways to help teachers simplify their classrooms and their teaching. Okay, let's start with the first disclaimer of this video, and that is you do not have to do anything school related over your summer break. You have worked extremely hard all year long and you deserve this break. So if you want to not think about anything school related and you want to fully and wholeheartedly go into your summer mode, then this is your permission to do just that. If you like to work on things at a slow pace, at a summer pace over break, because A, you just enjoy doing those things and it brings you joy. B, I like the fact that I don't feel rushed to do any of it and I can take my time and work on a little bit here and there. And C, it actually makes me feel less stressful going into the back to school season, knowing that I have some things already off of my list. And disclaimer number 2, while this video may seem early because it is May, but there are some people who are out of school, or like me, this coming week is my last week of school. They changed our school calendar and we will be out and it is glorious. I'm sorry if you still have to go further. But also, if you still go through till June, there are a few things you can work on now while you're still in school that will already have you prepped for the fall. One thing that you may want to work on this summer is a substitute binder or notebook. Now, you're not going to have class lists and seating charts and those types of things ready for your notebook, but you can get all of the other things prepared in your notebook and ready to go so that when you get sick or something comes up towards the beginning of the year, you're not having to scramble to get all those things. You just need to add in your class list, maybe a seating chart, and then some more specific plans. Getting your procedures and routines out, emergency procedures, having those all typed up and ready to go. Maybe you have a seating chart that you can go ahead and just get the outline because you typically tend to do the same thing in your classroom. Then all you have to do is add student names. But getting everything, all of those basic things that don't change from year to year already set up. That way, the first time you go to do subplans, all you're having to do is add the specific things, schedules, because maybe those, you don't quite know those yet, student names, important information, and then those student plans instead of having to do the whole thing for the very first time. Another easy thing to prep over summer, and I actually like to do this towards the end of the year, is something I can work on while kids are finishing up, working on those memory projects and different things like that, are student notebooks for the following year. Before I started doing this at the end of the year and over summer, I used to always forget about it at the beginning of the year. But having labels already printed and prepped and ready to go, students just have to write their own name on it, having the notebook tabs printed and prepped and ready to go so that we can just glue those in that second, third week of school when we're setting up our notebooks. That's one less thing to worry about at the beginning of the year. Similar to a substitute binder, setting up a teacher notebook is also a great thing to do over the summer. Again, putting in those basic things that you know you'll use. Maybe you have specific small groups you tend to pull at the beginning of the year, or assessments. You could go ahead and get the trackers ready. You could set up your usernames and passwords and get it all set up, like the basic bones of it. And then that way, when the school year starts, all you have to do is add all the information that gets updated each year. Schedules, transportation lists, parent contact information, all of that stuff. You'll already have a place for it to go instead of piling up on your desk in those first couple of days of school. Class decor is one of my favorite things to think about over the summer, and I think most teachers immediately default to this one. But if you've been in your classroom for a while, you can sort of think things through of what is working very well in my classroom that I want to keep and not worry about, and what are some areas that maybe didn't quite work out the way I wanted them to. What do you need to make a space function better? What are some things that you can prep now so that as soon as you are able to get back into your classroom after they have cleaned all summer, all you have to do is put it up and you're not prepping at school while putting things up. That's definitely something I like to do. I actually will be getting a brand new classroom this year. We have added on a new building. I will be setting up from scratch this year, and so one of the things that I will be doing this summer is making sure I have like all my bulletin boards prepped and ready to go so that when I'm in the classroom, I'm not sitting there cutting and laminating. I'm actually just putting it up on the board. forward. Something really easy to plan over summer that you can do while sitting on your couch enjoying Netflix at the same time is working on some teaching slides. You can think through how the school year goes. Maybe you're going to need some meet the teacher, back to school night slides, get those prepped and ready to go. Maybe you want to go ahead and get started on that first week of school and get those slides prepped and ready to go. Or maybe you want to go ahead and dive into those first units you're going to teach. While each year is always different from the last, there is some things that are the same every year. And one of those is we're always going to start with a place value unit in math. We're always going to start with reviewing basic grammar, capitalization, punctuation rules in language. We always start with a fiction unit in reading. Prepping those slides or coming up with fun activities, ideas, new things that you want to do in those first couple units is always a good idea to work on over the summer. Typically, we tend to focus so much on that first week of school that when we get to our first unit, we might be out of some energy and don't get those planned as well. Creating a class website is also a great summer task because it's one of those things that you can take your time and work on a little bit at a time. I love using Google Sites as a class website. It is very easy to create one. I actually have a whole video dedicated to creating a class website that I will link for you up in the cards and down in the description. Now that your head is like swimming with all of these ideas of different things you want to do over summer and you're like, but I don't want to spend all of my time working on school stuff, check out the video that's on your screen now. I walk you through how to plan your summer where you get some school stuff done, you get to still enjoy all of the wonderful things of summer, but still sort of have a productive summer without it taking over your entire summer.